Telephone Poles by John Updike. They have been with us a long time. They will outlast the elms. Our eyes, like the eyes of a savage sieving the trees in his search for game, run through them. They blend along small town streets like a race of giants that have faded into mere mythology. Our eyes, washed clean of belief, lift incredulous to their fearsome crowns of bolts, trusses, struts, nuts, insulators, and such barnacles as compose these weathered incrustations of electrical debris, each a Gorgon's head, which seized right could stun us to stone. Yet they are ours. We made them. See here, where the cleats of linemen had roughened a second bark onto the bald trunk, and these spikes have been driven sideways at intervals handy for human legs. The nature of our construction is in every way a better fit than the nature it displaces. What other tree can you climb where the birds twitter unscrambled is English? True, their thin shade is negligible, but then again, there is not that tragic autumnal casting off of leaves that outface annually. These giants are more constant than evergreens by being evergreen. Ars Poetica by Archibald MacLeish. A poem should be palpable and mute as a globed fruit, dumb as an old medallion's to the thumb, silent as the sleeve-worn stone of casement ledges where moss has grown. A poem should be wordless as the flight of birds. A poem should be motionless in time as the moon climbs, leaving, as the moon releases, twig by twig, the night-entangled trees, leaving as the moon behind the winter leaves, memory by memory of the mind. A poem should be motionless in time as the moon climbs. A poem should be equal to, not true, for all the history of grief, an empty doorway, and a maple leaf, for love, the leaning grasses and two lights above the sea. A poem should not mean, but be. Chicago by Carl Sandburg. Hog butcher for the world, toolmaker, stacker of wheat, player with railroads and the nation's freight handler. Stormy, husky, brawling, city of big shoulders. They tell me you are wicked, and I believe them, for I have seen your painted women under the gas lamps luring farm boys, and they tell me you are crooked, and I answer, yes, it is true. I have seen the gunmen kill and go free to kill again. And they tell me you are brutal, and my reply is, on the faces of women and children I have seen the marks of want and hunger. And having answered so, I turn once more to those who sneer at this my city, and I give them back the sneer and say to them, come show me another city, with lifted heads singing, so proud to be alive, and coarse and strong and cunning, flinging magnetic curses amid the toil of piling job on job. Here is a tall, bold slugger set vivid against soft cities, fierce as a dog with tongue lapping for action, cunning as a savage pitted against the wilderness, bareheaded, shoveling, wrecking, planning, building, breaking, rebuilding under the smoke, dust all over his mouth, laughing with white teeth. Under the terrible burden of destiny, laughing as a young man laughs, laughing as an ignorant fighter laughs, who has never lost a battle, bragging and laughing that under his wrist is the pulse, and under his ribs the heart of the people, laughing, laughing the stormy, husky, brawling laughter of youth, half-naked, sweating, proud to be a hog butcher, tool maker, stacker of wheat, player with railroads, and freight handler to the nation. The apparition of these faces in the crowd, petals on a wet black bough.